Hey gamers, it's Steph from Settler of the Boards back with more of my top 100. So today, starting off at number 70, I have Takenoko. So this is a really adorable game about pandas, where you're just moving a little panda all over the board, trying to eat some bamboo, but you're also moving a little farmer all over the board, trying to grow some bamboo, and you have a bunch of different secret objectives, and you gain more throughout the game that you're trying to complete to get some points. So it looks amazing on the table, but it's just about moving all over the place and trying to finish those objectives, laying out more tiles to get more bamboo out there, and then just trying to make sure that they all have some water going to them so that they can grow more food. At number 69, I have Seasons, which is definitely one of the first more hobby games that I played, and has just really stuck with me since then. I definitely used to be a lot more overwhelmed. There's a ton of text on all of the cards. You start off by just drafting a bunch into your hand that you're going to hopefully play over the course of the game, and it's definitely intimidating at first if you haven't played a lot of games, but I've gotten a lot more used to it over time. But you're just trying to get some crystals and combo those cards and play them in front of you. Some will give you lasting abilities, some will just give you one-time abilities, but you're just trying to rack those up so that you can get the most points by the end of the game. At number 68 is actually one of the only games, if not maybe the only one on my list that I don't own, so I don't have it here, but it is Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is a push your luck game where you're trying to, you're a quack and you're trying to make some potions and stuff like that in front of you on a little board that has a little spiral, and you're just trying not to explode every turn. So that's a really fun game. I've enjoyed it every time that I've played it, and it's just, again, about pushing your luck and trying to get as many things out as you can without getting too many of the certain type that will make you bust. It can be really tense as you're trying, like, oh, I need one more piece, should I go for it, or should I just pass and hope that, like, next turn I can get what I need to keep going. And you're just going to be building your bag more and more throughout the game with things that hopefully are a lot better for you, and hopefully you'll be avoiding those ones that will make you bust more as you have more stuff in your bag. At number 67, I have Master of Wills, which over time, I had reviewed it a while back, and over time I've collected so much more of it. This is a two-player game. You can play it in teams as well, so up to 4, but I prefer it as a two-player game only, where you're just head-to-head and you have 2 different factions, and you're just playing community cards to the board to have more people out that you can move to your side of the board and things like that. And then every now and again you'll play faction cards, which will give you special abilities, and you build that faction deck before the game starts, so it is unique to you. Each player has unique cards to begin with, and then you're also going to just build it up with only the cards that you want to potentially see during the game. So you're gonna play those factions and hopefully give you some cool abilities with that. Eliminate some of the cards on your opponent's side so that they lose points, or just gains you a lot more cards on your side so that you gain a lot of points. And it goes over, I think, 7 rounds or something around that. And so you just want to make sure that you have the most points at the end. It's a huge tug-of-war game. And again, it's just playing cards, so it's nothing too complicated or anything like that, but there is a lot of strategy involved to make sure that you have the most points at the end. You want to make sure that you get a lot of cards all the way to your side, and to your allies, it's called, because they can never be stolen from you. So there is a ton of strategy involved to make sure that happens. At number 66, I have Sorcerer City, which is another real-time game. I have a couple of those on my list. You're basically just, you have a stack of tiles that is your city that you're trying to build, and each round you're just going to be timed, and you're going to lay them out, and you want to get the same color areas next to each other to get a lot of points. But there's also other scoring goals on a bunch of the tiles, not all of them, where you can gain a lot of gold, or influence, or prestige points, or raw magic are the 4 main resources that you'll be gathering when you lay out your tiles. And then you're just going to try and convert that into more tiles, and you're going to convert the tiles into more and more points over the course of the game. It goes over 5 rounds, and you're just trying to score as many points as possible. It's one of those games that really ramps up. The more you get, you start with very basic tiles, and the more tiles that you get, the more you can do, because you have more money to buy more tiles. You have more influence, so you're getting a special reward every round if you have the most influence. So it's just something that ramps up a lot. It's timed, and even if you have like 3 minutes, because there's different levels you can play at, like easy, hard, or medium. So you can have like 1, 2, or 3 minutes. But even with that 3 minutes, you just feel like the pressure is on. But it's definitely in a good way. So that's really, really fun. And yeah, I actually also did a review of this one if you want to check that out. At number 65, I have Santorini, which I don't love a lot of abstract games, but this one is just top tier. I love Santorini. It's my favorite 2-player game, probably. It's my favorite abstract game, definitely. But it's just like one of those things that it probably wouldn't be that interesting to me without this theme, which is probably definitely unnecessary, but it's really cute with all the little gods and all their little powers. And then it just, even if you take that away, the pieces, they just look really nice on the table. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this one, trying to make sure that you don't get yourself blocked into a corner, and you're trying to build up the pieces so that you can either stand on the 3rd level or get your opponent blocked into a corner so that they can't move and build anymore. So yeah, like I said, definitely a lot of strategy, definitely a little complex, even though it looks really cute and simple, but a ton of fun if you're into 2-player abstract games. At number 64, I have Fish Cook, which is a cheap-ass game, and so it doesn't like have a lot of pieces. So I kind of liked that for this, because it gave me the chance to go and buy some really nice dice for it, and other things like that. But it's just about cooking up some meals. So you're trying to collect some fish dice, and you're also trying to collect some other ingredients to just cook a meal and finish as many meals as possible, because that's going to earn you more and more points. If you complete meals from your hands, you get some bonus points, but if you complete them from the middle, just to kind of take them away from other players, you don't get those bonus points, but again, like, then they're in front of you. There is the opportunity to steal meals from other people. You can always cook anything that anybody has made, including yourself, but if you want to steal them, you just roll a die, and if it's, I think, greater than the fish die that they had to use, then you get to steal that, so that you get those points in front of you for a majority bonus at the end. So it's adorable. It's really simple, like, pieces-wise, but there is a little bit of strategy in there, and it's a fun one. At number 63, I have Run, Fight, or Die. I actually have the old school Run, Fight, or Die. I don't have, I think it's called Reloaded is the new one. I have the old one, but that doesn't take away from how much I like it. This is just a pretty simple Yahtzee mechanic game, so you're just rolling a couple of dice and trying to get certain sets, either to improve what you can gain from the roll, or you also have a unique player ability roll that if you get that, you get, a special power that only you can access. So you're just rolling dice and trying to escape zombies. So it's really not too difficult, but you're at the mercy of the dice a lot. So you're just trying to make sure that, okay, is it worth re-rolling, or am I going to get more zombies on my board and then just die from it? So it's a lot of fun. I think it's very thematic. So if you like zombies, if you're into those spooky games during Halloween month, then definitely check that out. Again, I don't think you can get that one anymore necessarily, but there is a Reloaded version, which, as far as I know, is very similar. So you'll probably still like that one. At number 62, I have Welcome To, which is a flip and write game where you're just trying to build up your little neighborhood. I really like this one because it's, again, another just simple, straightforward, like, you have a couple of different choices each round for a number you can put somewhere, and then it comes with, you're either going to build like a pool or a fence or something like that, in addition to that house that you build. So not too much going on, but there is that little bit of strategy, like, because it, like, quicks, which I mentioned in the last video, once you have a number, you have to keep going up. So if I put a 9 in this building, I can't put anything lower than that next to it, to the right side. So, and there are some rules that break that if certain abilities come out, but in general, you can't put anything lower or the same next to it as you keep going. So it is one of those things where you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you can't build any more houses. So there's a lot of decision to be made. And then the other cool thing about this one is the expansions that you can get for it are all different thematic neighborhoods. So there's like a Halloween one, there's like a summer one, an Easter one. There's all different kinds of things that are really, really cool. Most of which I like a lot. So if you like Flippin' Rights, this one's a really cool one. It packs a pretty big punch for a smaller box. And then finally for this set of the list, at number 61, I have The Quest for El Dorado. I actually have the German edition, but that does not, again, detract from how much I like it. Quest for El Dorado is a deck building game where you're racing to get to El Dorado, to get to the gold. It has these really small cards, which I think is really interesting just because I don't have a lot of deck builders that use those really small cards. I thought that was an interesting choice in general, but you're just trying to get more and more cards into your deck to try and move faster along the board. There's all different like terrains that you have to move through, and you can only move through them if you have cards that match that kind. So it is definitely a balancing game of what do I buy to put in my deck that's going to help me buy more cards, but also that's going to help me move across this board so that I get to the end first. It's a really cool combination of racing and deck building, so if you like those, definitely check that out. But that's it for this list. So again, check out the full list on the blog at any time, and then stay tuned for some more of these videos, and happy gaming!